a very pretty necklace you have on.
Kind of nice. Wait, I bought it in Ecuador. Yeah. Okay. Ready?
We are live. Who is here today? We've got 5 people on so far. Who do we have? Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia. Who else? 8. 8 people. Or Cynthia is in 8 times. Marjana, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. I haven't seen you in a long time. Sandy Sossman, how are you? Pennsylvania's in the house. Ricky Cooper. Good morning. All right, so today the topic we are going to work on is creating the ultimate relocation package using RPR. Every single one of you has access to RPR through your membership with the National Association of Realtors. If you are not familiar with it, then there are a lot of resources available. We have made several training classes about RPR, and this is one of the more customizable classes because it really can set you aside and ahead of the competition as far as providing service to anyone relocating. I know that New Jersey, especially now, is experiencing a lot of desire from people from New York, wanting to leave the city and moving to New York, from New York to New Jersey. And I know from reviewing files that there's a lot of people relocating also to Pennsylvania, which is we have a great area and a great market for us to be able to encounter people wanting to relocate, but providing something as service that they're not getting from somebody else or from other agents. So I am going to start with our presentation today, which is creating the ultimate relocation packet with RPR. We are going to cover in this presentation how to research neighborhoods, how to narrow down neighborhoods, and compare neighborhoods for someone who is interested in looking in our areas. We're going to do a research on schools, use mapping features and tools, create a relocation package that can be emailed to our clients or that can be printed and delivered separately in a printed copy. We're going to prepare to show properties and we're going to create that report. So the first thing that we need to do when working with a relocation client is to find out what their needs are. What are they looking for? So that comes down to asking questions, identifying their needs so that we can best help them identify the areas that might be better suited for them. How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms? Do they want to be near a park because they do a lot of sports? Do they have children? Are schools important to them? What type of yard? Do they want a small yard, a medium-sized yard, or do they want 30 acres in Pennsylvania, for example? What type of walkability needs do they have? Obviously, moving from the city to New Jersey or to Pennsylvania is going to reduce their ability to walk to places, okay? They're definitely going to need a car moving to New York, from New York to New Jersey or to Pennsylvania. But there might be areas where people can walk to the store or are closely close to shopping and things like that. Another thing that is important for people relocating is the distance or the drive time they want to have to get to work. And what we have found is that a lot of people that are moving to New Jersey still need to get to work, which is usually in the city, in Manhattan. So do they need public transportation? Do they need a train, a bus, or do they drive into the city? Do they take Route 80 because they need to be in off of the George Washington Bridge, which is Upper Manhattan? Do they need to be in Lower Manhattan and need to drive through the Holland Tunnel? Or do they need to be in Midtown and take the bus to Port Authority? So these are some of the identifying questions that we need to ask in order to find out what would be the areas and the locations that would benefit them the most. The next thing that we do is we research the neighborhoods based on their criteria. And most of the times they have a neighborhood that they have either visited or they have family that lives in the area, and they may know the area a little bit or they may not. So they depend on us to help them identify those areas that would be best suited for their needs. Once we have researched the neighborhood, we can then create a neighborhood report, and we can actually compare the current neighborhood they live in right now with the neighborhood that we are showing to them, or different neighborhoods. We can give them a comparison of the different areas that are available and how they compare to the neighborhood where they are coming from. We're going to go briefly into creating trade area reports, which is in the commercial part of RPR, because it's good for you to know, especially people relocating to New Jersey who may be interested in starting their own business. If that is their case, you want to be able to offer them that additional service. And then we're going to go briefly into how to send to the client that particular report that we created. So let's get started. The first thing that we want to do is, the reason we have a white screen here is because I need to share my screen, and I needed to make sure I remembered where I needed to go in order to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm sure you all can see. This is RPR, and I am in the residential area of RPR. And then up on the top, next to Welcome Diana, you see that it says commercial. You all should have your membership in RPR customized with your logo, the logo of the company, and also with your picture and details of your information. And I'm going to show you later when we get to the reports where that is located. So the first thing that we want to do, and what I did was, because my primary area or area of knowledge where I grew up is Clifton, and also Clifton has several different zip codes within the city, I wanted to show you different areas and how you can compare for your client the two different areas. So the first thing that we do here is, as you can see in the search bar, as you are creating reports, you are able to also save them. Notice on the star on the left side, I have a whole bunch of different reports that I have saved for areas that I primarily work in. So I have Secaucus, Passaic, Fairlawn, Clifton, and I have, Clifton has 5 different zip codes. So I actually have the specific zip codes saved as my market areas. I also have Carlstadt, I have Fairfield, Wayne. So you can actually buy, if you're doing an area that you always do, then you can save that, and it will be easier for you to go from one report to another. So the first thing that, assuming I didn't have any of that, you can click on the city, and you can put a city, or you can put a zip code or a county. So let's say that I want to go to Passaic County, because maybe I have somebody who says, you know what, I'm considering Passaic County, but I don't know anything about the area. By clicking just the entire county, we can show our potential client or relocation client what the areas of Passaic County offer. So we have here the entire county of Passaic in relation to, if they're coming from New York, you can see, the properties that are available for sale. But let's say after looking at Passaic County, they decide, well, I still need to get to New York City within a reasonable amount of time. I need to be in the city within 1 hour. Okay, well, definitely West Milford or even Ringwood is going to be a longer traveling time than than if you go closer to the city. Another thing that I'm going to show you real quick is how to use a map pin. Notice right here, I have in the map tools, we can put a map pin and do either drive time or distance. So let's say somebody is going to be living in or working in Newark. I'm going to put a map pin in, and I'm going to put distance in the city of Newark. Right there, I just put a pin in Newark, and it says the ideal distance would be 5 miles from the city of Newark. If I apply that, this is going to give me the radius where driving time would be within 5 miles. So if the client is going to be working in Newark and they want to be within 5 miles of where they are working, then my search area is going to be that purple area, okay? If they want to be, let me just eliminate this. Let me move my search area to Midtown Manhattan. Okay, if I move that there, 5 miles, within 5 miles is this area, which would include, for us in New Jersey, it would include North Bergen, Secaucus, Union City, Hoboken, Jersey City. But if they are willing to go a little bit farther away, let's say 10 miles away, and I apply, that brings them to the lower section, to the lower part of Passaic County, okay? But it also includes Essex County and parts of Bergen County and obviously Hudson County. It also takes them the other way, which is Brooklyn, Queens, New York City, but that is where we are finding people are leaving from there and moving to New Jersey. So if they, you can actually create an area based on what they're looking for. If they want to be within a specific distance, or you can make it drive time. So if we put drive time, for example, somebody is going to be in 42nd Street, New York City. I'm going to do a search. And this is actually creating a specific driving time. So I'm not going to do that because it's actually not giving me, I have to put a specific address. Let me see here. Let me do, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to put Montclair State University. It requires an actual address. Okay, so let me zoom in. And I am going to zoom in and go into the address at Montclair State University. See if I can find it over here. Great notch. No, I went too far. Valley Road. Okay, right here. So Montclair State University is where I'm going to put my pin for drive time. So maybe someone is relocating to New Jersey because their child is going to be going to school at Montclair State University. You can do this for either any employment, based on employment, so you can actually get or add the PIN for where the employer is going to be located, and make it based on their driving time. At 8 a.m. in the morning, the purple area shows how long it will take, which we have about 15 minutes would be the journey on a typical Monday morning at 8 a.m. So if we apply that, this would be the areas where their search criteria for a home would take them to Montclair State University within 15-minute drive. Okay, so let's say that because that is the reason they're moving to New Jersey, we've chosen or narrowed down, instead of the whole entire county of Passaic County, they've narrowed down to this particular area. I chose Clifton because it is the area that I am. You have to actually choose some areas. And this is the mapped view. You can also do a list view that shows the properties for sale. And I actually have, in that particular area, there are, of Passaic County, there are 3,411 properties that are available. We can also filter these results and put new listings. See, I have here on the left, new listings, pending sales, price changes, expired. I'm going to remove the expireds, and we're going to see what happens with that number. So we start out with a very wide number, a very wide area, and I'm going to remove the expireds, and I'm going to remove the recently solds. I'm going to remove the for lease and recently leased. I'm going to look at single family residential. I'm going to remove co-ops, and I'm going to remove condos. Okay, so when I take a look at apply these filters, it is going to give me 806 properties that are this left the pending sales and also the distressed. Notice that if we look at the map, I'm going to click on the map just to show you that the properties that are in red are distressed. So we have in this particular section, the blue are for sale. The darker blue are pending or under contract, and distressed are red. So if I go back and remove the distressed and the pending, and I apply the results, now I end up with 643 properties. Obviously, we're not going to be showing 643 properties. That would be just too much. It's giving me under contract. But you can also choose how many you see on the list by changing the number of results. So I have it at a maximum of 100 because I want to have less pages. If you make it to look at 10, you have to be scrolling page after page after page after page, and I really don't have that much patience. So I just rather just go down on my report, and then it gives me 100. And then when I get all the way to the bottom, then I go to the next page. I also have it on recently updated. You can also sort by most expensive, least expensive. So here I had it at most updated. So that would have been something that was just listed, but it gives me more. If I do it sort by most expensive, the most expensive property in this particular area is 1.25 million. I can also go based on least expensive, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, living area, lot size, year built, if there are any open houses, and days active on RPR. So I'm going to leave it at recently updated. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to just leave it at most expensive. I am going to remove the new distressed. Well, actually, I don't have an option for that. But I'm going to go back, and I am going to, now, if this is an area that you use a lot, because it happens to be the town or the county that this is where on the right-hand side, you can click on the star and save. So when you save it, it's going to show up in that main page under your saved, okay? It shows up here for your custom searches. So what I'm going to show you now is I'm going to go here on this bar above. We have neighborhoods. And this is where I want to show you how you can wow a relocation client and show them something that a lot of other agents are not taking advantage of, and it sets you apart. So when you click on neighborhoods, you can put here the name of a neighborhood, the city, the zip code, or the county. So I'm going to type Clifton here, and that is going to show me all of the different towns in the United States that are named Clifton. But I am in New Jersey. As you can see, the city of Clifton has 5 different zip codes for the primary neighborhoods. So depending on what I found out about from my client or my potential client, if I'm going to continue with that example that a child is going to Montclair State, and rather than sending them to school to live in the campus, they want to leave the city and be close to school, and they want to be close to the area. The closest areas in that particular town or closer to Montclair State University are area code 07012 and 0713. As you can see, I'm going to show you the actual summary of the city of Clifton. So the city of Clifton here, I'm looking in the map, and you can see the city of Clifton is a horseshoe. And there are those different zip codes that we saw are actually different neighborhoods. And within those zip codes, there are different smaller micro neighborhoods. So I am going to show you here under show geographies. I want to show you macro neighborhoods, and that is going, notice the outlines on those neighborhoods, okay? I am going to go into intermediate neighborhoods, and you're going to see some differences, okay, in neighborhoods. Every one of these highlighted areas is a different neighborhood. For example, this area over here is the Oakwood section of Clifton. Okay, the Oakwood section of Clifton includes this area here, Lower Oakwood, and then over here off of Brighton Road and Oakwood Road. So these are different neighborhoods within a larger neighborhood and within the same zip code. Another thing I'm going to show you is minor neighborhoods. So over here, I am going to show you in the section of Clifton, you can actually draw a shape, either a box, a radius, or a polygon. So I'm going to do a polygon. Oops. Draw a polygon. Not giving it to me. Okay, let me do a box then. If it will let me do a box. So let's say they want to be, no. I don't like my box. They want to be close to Route 3, close to the Parkway, and we can search in this particular area, okay? Search for listings in this area, or you can edit the area, or you can save it for that. So this area that I chose here in this box is 609 acres. By searching in this box, there are a total of 8 properties at this moment, going from most expensive to least expensive. These are for sale, okay? We have 639,000. The red one is a pre-foreclosure, which is actually for sale. So that would be a property that is for sale, and it's probably going to be negotiated in the form of a short sale. The ones that are blue are not distressed. But this is the information that is available in that particular area at this time. I'm going to go back home, and I am going to compare 2 different zip codes. So I'm going to go to Clifton, New Jersey again. And if you choose the actual zip code, it's going to take you to that area. But because I want to have all of Clifton so that I can choose the 2 neighborhoods that I'm interested in, I'm going to go to the map view, and I am going to choose on here on show geographies, you can also see the census tracts, the school districts, and opportunity zones. I did a different class before about opportunity zones. So what I have here, I've actually saved my areas. So 07012, this shows me this particular area. And what I want to show you here, how you can view the neighborhood details, and then you can create a neighborhood report. So I'm going to go into view neighborhood details. And this gives me attributes for this particular area, which may be something of interest to those buyers moving into the area. The median household income, median age, the total population, and it compares them to the county as well as the state of New Jersey. It gives us their education, economy, and it gives us their commute to work. The people who lived in this particular neighborhood of Clifton, it gives us how they get to work, their commute time, how they get to work. 73.3% drive, 15% take public transportation, 11% take the bus, and 8.4% carpool. And then some people work from home. We have consumer segmentation that is provided for this particular area. It gives us the number of households, the ones who are trendsetters. They give us the residence type, average household type, size, and the type, whether they're married couples, singles. And it gives us the median net worth. So this is a lot of information that it may not be for everybody, but you as a member who have access to this can also use this information to attract people to work with you. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find a new, I'm going to go back and I am going to show you 07073 because that area in Clifton, if a client wants to compare two different neighborhoods, you want to be able to give them that opportunity. So on neighborhoods, I'm going to go back to Clifton. And I'm going to choose this time 07013. And you are going to see what comes up. The median estimated home values. And this is all information that you can get on each one of those areas. So we can get the estimated value, median price versus sales volume, listing price versus listing volume, population. On the right-hand side, you see the schools nearby and their ratings. I'm going to click on the map. And as you can see, this zip code is much larger than the zip code I had before, which is right over here, which is 07012. In addition to that, so we can actually create a report for each one of these areas so that we can show our clients side by side what that looks like. I happen to have a couple of reports that I created ahead of time. So 07012, which is the Allwood section of Clifton. When you create the report, and I'm going to show you how to get there, but here I just want to show you what type of report you can create and then send over to your clients so they can have a comparison. In this particular neighborhood report, it has the area map. It has your picture, as long as you have uploaded your picture. It has your name, your designations, the company logo, and all of your contact information of how people can reach you. The neighborhood housing statistics and charts for that particular zip code, for the city of Clifton, for the county of Passaic, for the state of New Jersey, and how that compares to the US. It has median sales price versus sales volume. And it shows what has happened since 2015 until 2020, or January. It usually compares from January to January each year. It gives you median listing price versus listing volume. As you can see, the volume of listings for sale is very, very low compared to July of 2018. The price range of homes sold, price per square foot. It gives you size of homes sold and the age range of those homes. It also gives you neighborhood statistics for the people and some charts. Education levels of the population in this zip code. Population of children by age. Households with children, income brackets, and their voting pattern. There are also economic statistics and charts. It shows the unemployment rate, occupational categories, quality of life stats and charts, average commute time. So 33.2% of people who live in this neighborhood commute between 15 to 30 minutes. And 24.8% commute from 30 to 45 minutes. And 9% for 45 to 60 minutes. The majority of people in this neighborhood drive to work. 885 take public transportation, usually to the city, probably to New York City. A few people work from home. And then the average temperature. And then we have the walkability score. 2.6 is an area where you definitely need a car in order to get to a lot of different places. I'm going to show you the walkability report for New York City, because another thing that I did when working with a relocation, you find out where they're coming from, and you can create one of these reports for the area where they are at. I'm going to show you the report that I created for the next zip code, which is 07013. Again, it gives me the statistics, the same thing as the other one. So when you send both reports, they can have a better idea and they can choose which neighborhood they prefer to be in. In this particular relocation example, I chose Jackson Heights, New York. I have noticed that a lot of people, when I review files, there are a lot of people that are coming from New York, and Jackson Heights is one of those areas. So assuming our relocation client is coming from New York City and specifically Jackson Heights, New York, I did the same research for their area to determine and give them an idea where they're coming from. Notice that the estimated home value in this particular neighborhood is $811,000. While the neighborhood or the value of the areas in 07013 was $388,000, the median estimated home value in that area, and 07012, let me just get back to that page, it was $382,000. So this gives them an estimate. They are definitely going from a more populated area that is more expensive to an area that has, yes, they need a car, but it is an area that costs less, but they still can get to New York City for work in a decent amount of time, you know, within half an hour, maximum 45 minutes if there is traffic or there's an accident on Route 3. So going back to those areas, I want to show you, I already showed you the that area. Okay, so let's say that we want to create a report from this particular geography. We go to create a report, and there are different reports that we can create. The one that I just previously showed you was a neighborhood report. In the neighborhood report, you have the housing statistics, the charts, economics, statistics, quality of life, and information about RPR. Notice on the right-hand side over here, you have the ability to customize your report. You can choose what elements you want to show in your report, and you can also manage custom pages. This is where if you have additional information about that particular area, or if you want to add a page about your biography or some information about the company, the accolades of the company, or things that you have received, you can go to the right-hand side where it says General Report Preferences, Manage Custom Pages, and this is where you can add. I've already added just the official website of Clifton, New Jersey, because you have to always also think that someone moving to a new location, they may not be aware of a lot of information for that area. But if you have specific information, you can simply add. You would have already saved that information somewhere else in your downloads or in your computer, and then you can just add it or choose it from there. I'm going to cancel because I already have it here. In order to view the page that I created, I can simply, what I simply did was I just went to the City of Clifton official website. I did a screenshot and I added it to a PDF. So I added this just to show you how that can be done. But once you have added it, you need to save, and then you can actually notice here that it is here as one of my custom pages. The reports that I had created, I did before I added the custom page. So the custom page will come or will arrive after your cover page, okay? So if it's something that you want to add something additional, that is the way that you can add. If you need to do anything with your profile, you can click on View Full Profile, and this is where you can customize what you have. You can add or change your logo. Actually, I need to change my logo because this is the older one we used to have. You can change your photo or update your photo, update your contact information. I have my work phone number. I have the fax number. I have my email address. You can add your website or the office website. And then you can also, if you are a member of more than one multiple listing service, you have the ability of adding the different multiple listing services that you belong to. I belong to 3. I belong to Hudson MLS, the Garden State MLS, and the New Jersey MLS. If you only belong to one of them, then that is the one that you will be able to add. And the benefit of adding all of the multiple listing services that you belong to is that all of the information for those MLSs will show up in the results that you have available in your RPR. You can also add your designations, and you can also choose to receive RPR updates and news on the bottom. So once you have made whatever changes you want to make, you can click Save on the bottom, or on the top over here, you can click Save. I'm going to go back to my reports page, and I am going to show you how I did the report for the report that I did for the area where they're coming from. So I click on Jackson Heights, New York. Jackson Heights, New York, notice that's here. Jackson Heights in New York. And you can choose exact, within, or nearby. I chose exact because that is where my client is coming from. And this is where I got the information that when I created the report, I ended up with where's my report? That's Clifton. This is Jackson Heights, New York. So when I created the report for Jackson Heights in New York City, I can then send these reports to my client so they can review them side by side, and they have a better understanding of what they're leaving and where they're going. Okay? And going back to the reports, you have the ability, after you choose the report you want to send, you can include the recipient's name and a message, and then you can either display it immediately and do it as a download in PDF. And if you're going to be sending more than one report at the same time, it is best to do it as a PDF and then send them an email with the different reports. Or if you're only doing one report, then you can choose email and then add their email address here and run the report. It will actually, I have it to automatically copy me, CC me of anything that I send to anybody. So if you want to send just one report, you can put their email address. If you want to send more than one report, you can download it. When your reports are ready, the system will ring a bell and let you know that your report is ready. And then from the list of the different reports that you have, you can download and save as a PDF. Okay? I'm going to show you one more thing which pertains to going to the commercial area. You would click commercial, and I have already created a couple of commercial trade area analysis and trade area reports. How you would do that is by clicking on the report that you want. Notice on the left side, you can choose what report or for what property you are interested in. Because I have already saved the areas, let's say that my client is more interested in 07013. I can click on that area and that shows up in my search bar. The reason I'm showing you this is not because they're looking to purchase a commercial property. There might be some people who are interested in information for either opening a business or moving their business to New Jersey, but that is not why I am showing you this. I want to show you where it says market analysis. You can actually, for this particular zip code, you can do a demographic and spending area report. You can choose an attribute, either who they are, what they do, where they live, what they buy, how they behave, or facts and stats. You can choose that. I'm going to choose population statistics or housing statistics, population trends, or income trends. I am going to go with housing statistics. Then I can see here either the total housing units, or if they own a home, or if they rent a home. In this zip code 07013, I'm going to choose that. You can also add more criterias. So I'm going to choose how they behave, okay? I'm going to choose where they purchase clothing, shoes, ordered from websites, internet, time spent exercising each week. And you can choose from 1 to 2 hours all the way up to 6 hours. So I'm going to choose 1 to 2 hours exercising, and I'm going to run this analysis. And this actually shows the information for this particular area. And notice that the purple areas are better, but these dark gray areas are best. There was no match for the areas that are not highlighted. Now remember, this is for the zip code only within the city of Clifton. So let me show you what that analysis looks like. So a commercial trade area analysis, you can also print it, because you might be dealing with someone who is thinking of opening a business or relocating their business to the area. Notice that when I printed this, I already had added that page I showed you. And I made it didn't fit right, but this is that page that I added. The trade area analysis for this particular neighborhood, and this is because I had already chosen something different. It's urbanization, suburban periphery, and it gives us ranking of search results. 96% in this particular purple area own a home. So as you can see, the majority of people who live in this particular area, remember the search that I did was for if they own a home. So the majority of people in this neighborhood own a home. And then it gives you specific details about what the research means. And then it just has information about the particular information and where it came from. I'm going to go back to see if you guys have any questions. Julie never knew these features existed. That's why we're doing this type of training, to let you be informed about what all of these different opportunities are. There is other details that you can get doing reports in RPR. For this particular neighborhood of 07012, it also shows you their median income and the different segmentation of people who live in that particular area. I'm going to go back to residential. And I want to show you one more thing. Within the zip code 07013 in Clifton, there are additional neighborhoods which happen to be, I'm going to put the Montclair Heights section in Clifton. Now, the Montclair Heights section of Clifton is is a section within that zip code. That's why I chose Clifton, because it gives us so many opportunities for doing different research. If you live or work in an area that is a smaller area that doesn't have all these different zip codes and different smaller neighborhoods, then you're not going to have access to all of these different features. But if your client is interested in different neighborhoods within a city or within a town, it's good for you to know how to access these areas. So this particular area, I'm going to go back and show you, because I think it's really important. I'm going to remove 07012. I'm going to go back to 07013. You can see how large this zip code is within the city. Within that neighborhood, the very southern and western part of this map that you see right here is the Montclair Heights section. I'm going to show you in a bigger map what I'm talking about. So notice this is west of Route 3 along the side right next to Montclair State University. See that? Well, the entire zip code was much larger than that. Okay, so I'm looking at the very smaller portion west of Route 3 and 46. So within this particular area, we have a noticeable difference than the other areas, which is the median estimated home value is higher than the entire zip code. And this shows you also if there's any change in values over the last 5 months and over the last 12 months. You can see the sales price versus volume. And again, population by children. And you will also notice on the right-hand side the different ratings for the specific schools in the immediate location. The heat maps, notice right here, shows you flood zones. Anything in pink is a higher risk of a flood zone in that particular neighborhood. Year built shows us the age of properties in that particular area. So the redder areas have newer homes. The yellower areas, and kind of brownish yellow, are older homes. Housing density shows us the number of people per, or the number of homes per acre. Listing price versus sales price. Pending sales concentration, average listing price, average sales price, concentration of distressed properties. The redder it is, the higher the possibility of foreclosure or distressed properties to be found. Estimated value per square foot, 12 months change in estimated value and estimated home values. And then I'm just going to leave it at none. You can also see, let me see, I already showed you the geographies. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to click on the map. You can also look at points of interest in here, so you can look at banks, daycare, education, fire and police department, gas, grocery, hospitals, hotels, houses of worship. I'm going to hide. Housing in this particular area gives you more information. And notice the neighborhoods nearby. Within the Montclair Heights section of Clifton, there are different communities, which Williamsburg North and South, Middlegate Mews, these are condominium complexes. There's Garrett Village in Clifton, Hamilton Crest, Heritage Arms, Grove Estates in Clifton. So these are specific neighborhoods within the Montclair Heights section, which is located in that particular neighborhood. It gives you information about the people. Now, when giving information about people, we have to be very careful that we are not giving information that could be used to accuse us of discrimination. So the information that we provide has to be very general. This actually has a lot more information that we should not be involved in giving, which would be the demographics of how many, African Americans are compared to Hispanics or Caucasian. You can actually find that information available in here. I just don't recommend that we go into that many details, especially because we do run we have the danger of being accused of discrimination by someone who may see that information as inappropriate for us to be given it. Notice the overall score for walkability is very low in this particular area. Someone moving to this neighborhood definitely needs a car. Okay. Let me see here what else I can show you. And again, you can save the report. Any report that you create that you want to save, you can just click on the star or the save button, and that will save it for you. So now whenever you go to do a similar report for someone, you already have that information available. In this particular area, we find that there are 158 properties for sale. So I'm going to take out foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, short sales. You can also, if you have a lot of listings in a particular neighborhood or in that particular area, you can say highlight my listings. I don't have any at this point, so I'm going to remove that. And then active or pending, I'm going to apply. So you can also do search for homes in this particular area, and then you can also create a report that you can then send to your client. Remember, we started out by asking that client, what is important to you? How many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, school information, how close do you want to be to school or walking or whatever. And this is where we can actually use the filters available to be able to help you narrow down the areas that you're looking for. I'm going to go back to my slides. And I am going to go back to where I was. So sending the reports can be done electronically, one at a time, or you can save them all in the form of a PDF and then send them together in a separate email, sending all of the attachments together. You may want to mix in other information about the area. For example, if you are in an area that has a lake or a park that is very famous, that everybody wants to go there, you want to send information about that community to make it easier for people to understand why they should be moving to that community. For me, when I send information about Clifton, I send information about the New Jersey Transit buses and trains, because there are a lot of different stops, and there are, it's very commuter friendly. So if you're in an area that is commuter friendly, maybe add some reports or information or bus schedules or train schedules or information about that particular area that would be of interest to that client. In your reports, you can choose to show the page numbers, or you can have them eliminated. If you don't want to, if there's a page you don't want to send and you want to remove it, you don't want them to feel like you took something out. If they're expecting 10 pages and page 8 is missing. So you can actually choose not to show the pages, the page numbers. So to recap, and this is a little longer than I expected, you want to start out by identifying the client's needs, educate them on the community, create a relocation packet that you can send to them by mail or by email, a neighborhood report. You can create trade area reports if it's something that you think might be of benefit to them. You want to do an MLS search and have auto notifications that we can do through the MLS. You can create a market activity report, mini property reports through RPR, and you can use these reports to educate them on the average price in that particular neighborhood. And if they are looking or considering different neighborhoods, this can help them narrow down what area would be best for them. Once they choose a property, or you start looking at properties in an area, you can actually create a comparative market analysis for the particular areas or houses that they're interested in, to let them know what is the best price to offer for that property. There is a lot of information on RPR, narrpr.com. You can also download, I'm sure you all should have downloaded your mobile app, which is great. You can subscribe to the blog that constantly has different information. They do have customer support for RPR. The phone number is on the screen. And you can also get the phone number or RPR help right from RPR. There are also video tutorials that are available on different topics. There are also advanced training tutorials, and those, there are many videos. As you can see, relocation fact finding, that is a 2-minute and 40-second video that you can watch to see how you can better choose the areas and how to use RPR for your particular needs. They're very, very short video tutorials. I really appreciate you being here today. I would like to know if anybody has any questions. Marzana wants to know, what are distressed properties? Those are properties where the property owner has not paid their mortgage, and either they are in a stage of either in the process of being foreclosed upon, and some of those properties either are sold as a foreclosure, or if the foreclosure has not happened, the seller has the opportunity of selling the property under a short sale. That is what that means, is distressed. Let me see. I'm not seeing any other questions. If you guys have any questions at all, or if you want to play around with the areas that you live in and create a report, send it to yourself, see what it looks like. Make sure you update your contact information in the report and provide service that they're not getting from other people. So I thank you very much for coming over. Another reason for doing these reports might be once we get back to normal, you may want to do a report like this, a relocation report, and have it available at your open houses. If you decide that in the future you want to do open houses, and if you have a report like this that you can have available for people who are looking from other areas, that would be a great opportunity for you to send it to them by email. Don't give them the copy that you have. Just tell them, look, I have this report about the neighborhood, about the area, about the county, about the zip code or whatever it is where your property is located. Maybe have some neighborhood comparisons. And then when the buyer comes to the open house and they're coming from another area, you can offer them the opportunity of receiving these reports by email. And that will definitely assure you that you will get their correct email address and information, and gives you a chance to show off your knowledge. And probably if they have seen other open houses and the other agents have not provided this information, you have a better chance of having them work with you. Again, I thank you so much for being here. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a wonderful day.